Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this.
Salah's future in doubt as Saudi club's I-2026 move. Mohamed Salah, 33 years old. Liverpool's future is heating up. British media outlet Team Talk reported on the 4th, local time. Speculation is growing that Salah could leave Anfield in the summer of 2026. There is an atmosphere of connection with Saudi league clubs. YNWA reported that Al Hilal and Al Qadisiyah are preparing a large contract to sign Salah. Salah is a forward who will go down in Liverpool's history. He has scored 250 goals in 419 matches, ranking third on the club's all-time scoring list. However, his position within the club has significantly narrowed this season. On the 30th of last month, he was excluded from the Premier League starting lineup for the first time in 18 months during the West Ham match, the first such decision since manager Arne Slot's appointment. This sparked widespread transfer rumors surrounding Liverpool's club. The claim that Salah does not seem to be part of the future plans is gaining traction. Fabrizio Romano, an expert on the European transfer market, hinted on the Market Madness podcast, "No one will rush to judgment," adding, "The internal atmosphere is calm for now. Liverpool is not actively seeking a replacement for Salah yet. The remaining season could be a variable. How does manager Arne Slot, who benched Salah, view him?" Slot said, "He is a player who has played an important role for a long time. I still want to see him on the pitch. I like how he scores goals and creates special moments," dismissing rumors of excluding Salah and discord that have emerged in some quarters. He added, "All Liverpool players, including Salah, do their best every day regardless of whether they play or not. Even the day after the West Ham match, he worked hard." In the West Ham match, Slot used a 4-2-3-1 formation. Cody Gakpo, Florian Wirtz, and Dominic Szoboszlai formed the second line in front of Isaiah. Szoboszlai played on the right, replacing Salah's position. Slot explained that Szoboszlai is not a long-term wing resource. He said, "Dominic is a midfielder. If needed, he can cover the wing or substitute as a fullback. However, he is not the type to play on the right in every match," adding, "In the long term, wingers should be wingers and midfielders should be midfielders." This could be interpreted as a sign of Salah's return to the starting lineup. Meanwhile, Liverpool is set to face Sunderland and Leeds in Premier League matches. There have been reports that Slot's position is shaking due to recent poor form. Liverpool remains in 8th place in the league with 7 wins, 1 draw, and 6 losses, 22 points. Team Talk reported Slot is at risk of being sacked, and that Liverpool's management is considering Crystal Palace's Oliver Glasner as a potential successor. Liverpool 1-1 Sunderland Live. Reaction as Florian Wirtz forces OG after Van Dijk. Nightmare. Liverpool faces Sunderland at Anfield today, searching for a win that would take the Reds above the Black Cats in the Premier League standings. Sunderland has been one of the top flight surprise packages this season, winning 6 of its 13 games following its promotion from the Championship. The Northeast club has not won at Anfield since 1983, but Regis Lebris players clearly don't fear anyone. And they have already recorded an away win over Chelsea, as well as holding Arsenal to a draw at the Stadium of Light. As for Arne Slot's men, a win for them could see them end the day back inside the top 5. Thoughts from ANFILD. Our man Matt Addison was watching on as Liverpool salvaged a point at Anfield. He's given us his immediate thoughts. Alexander Isak was unfortunately anonymous, a recurring trend since his massive money transfer. And Mohamed Salah didn't make much more of an impact when summoned from the bench, prompting more questions about his future role. But it is ultimately still a point from behind against an informed side. Read Matt's full thoughts here. Final confirmation on Wirtz's goal. The Premier League has confirmed that the wait goes on for Florian Wirtz's first Liverpool goal. He played a key role in the equalizer here, but it's gone down as an own goal for Nordi Mukiel. Wirtz showed great feet in the box, finding just enough room for the shot, but his skewed effort was adjudged to be heading wide before it struck Mukiel. Even so, that's 2 games in a row where the summer signing has exerted his influence on proceedings. That's a major positive amid another disappointing result. Player ratings. On the whistle, here are our Liverpool player ratings. Florian Wirtz was cruelly denied his first goal, which goes down as a Mukiel OG, but he was once again the standout performer. Alexander Isak, on the other hand, had a tough day at the office, and Virgil van Dijk had a nightmare on the Sunderland goal.ft. Liverpool 1-1 Sunderland. Well, it was an eventful end to say the least, but it's all over and its honors even. Liverpool pushed hard to win it, but there can be no complaints overall. Salvaging a draw against this high-flying Sunderland side is at least a little more respectable, but it won't save Arne Slot from questions. Liverpool has not fully built on the West Ham win, and the champions' form will remain under heavy scrutiny. Reaction to follow. Liverpool player ratings as 3 good but Alexander Isak poor in Sunderland draw. Liverpool came from behind to claim a hard-earned point at home to high-flying Sunderland on Wednesday evening. A deflected shot from Chemstein Talby put the visitors ahead midway through the second half before a Florian Wirtz shot went in off Nordi Mukeel for the equalizer. The result means Arne Slot's side remain in the top half of the table and have closed the gap on the top 4 to only 2 points. Liverpool news. Jude Bellingham swap transfer plan as Mohamed Salah message sent. There's less than a month to go before Liverpool can once again get back to transfer business, and Jude Bellingham is one name emerging around Anfield as the England talisman struggles for form at Real Madrid. Such a monumental transfer wouldn't be viable in most winter windows. But there are murmurs of Liverpool interest ahead of the summer, and one high-profile star under Arne Slot has been tipped to move in the opposite direction in order to lure Bellingham. Recent weeks have also witnessed a rise in rumors linked to Mohamed Salah, who has reportedly received a very clear message from his current club. Mirror Football takes a look at the latest happenings around Anfield this week as speculation builds ahead of a busy 2026. Bellingham linked with Liverpool swap despite his recent dip at the Bernabeu. Bellingham remains one of the most valuable assets currently starring for Real. However, that hasn't prevented sections of the Madrid media from turning against the Englishman. As one of the main faces of Xabi Alonso's side, Bellingham has suffered the same pressures other British imports have come under in Spain, and with that comes the familiar knee-jerk reaction tipping the underperforming star for the exit. Real recently lost their hold on La Liga's lead after drawing their last 3 domestic fixtures. It's to be expected that Bellingham shoulders some of the burden for that slide to second, though any suggestion of a move is undoubtedly premature. Still, that hasn't prevented Defensa Central from reporting that a move to Liverpool could materialize as soon as next summer. The story goes that the Reds sense their opportunity to capitalize on Bellingham's recent struggles by making a move for the player and offering Alexis Mac Allister in return. Los Blancos have been linked with Mac Allister for some time and are reportedly big fans of the World Cup winner. As such, Liverpool could be willing to part ways with him by offering Real a swap, given the disparity between their most recent transfer fees. Liverpool would almost certainly be expected to offer a sizable cash sum alongside Mac Allister to get their hands on Bellingham. The Argentinian has 2.5 years remaining on his Liverpool contract, while Bellingham's Real deal doesn't expire until 2029, and this storyline may not be worth entertaining for long. Liverpool very clear on Salah future. Another player currently out of form is Salah, who was dropped for Liverpool's 2-0 win at West Ham on Sunday. The Egyptian watched from the sidelines as Liverpool snapped their latest losing streak without his aid, thanks to goals from Alexander Isak, his first Premier League finish for the Reds, and Cody Gakpo. Hat twist has sparked a fresh wave of speculation linking Salah with the Anfield exit. Familiar reports of interest from Saudi Arabia have been revived just months after he supposedly turned down lucrative offers to pen on a 2-year deal. On MERSEYSID. However, transfer reporter Fabrizio Romano has assured the Liverpool hierarchy has sent a very clear message on the forward's future, that being no player will be judged on the lackluster couple of months Liverpool have endured, with few under Slot's command escaping judgment for their roles in that dip. In any case, Salah is due a break from the Liverpool spotlight when he links up with Egypt this month for the Africa Cup of Nations, and only after the winger returns from the tournament will fans get a better impression of Slot's plans for the player this term. The 4-time Premier League Golden Boot winner deserves a send-off fit for his legacy after spearheading the latest era of Liverpool prosperity. However, the second half of the campaign will seemingly have a big part to play in whether Salah gets to bow out on his own terms. New monthly Liverpool FC fix on sale now. Get your copy here. Welcome to the 5th edition of Blood Red. your new monthly publication from the YNWA covering everything you need to know about what's happened at Liverpool FC. You can buy the December issue here. As ever, this month's offering is packed full of exclusive interviews, expert insight, and nostalgia. Our columnist Andy Dunn says Captain Virgil van Dijk needs the help of other senior players to share the load of leadership. As Liverpool look to emerge from their worst run of form since the 1950s, results may have been grim of late. However, former Reds favorite Gary McAllister urges fans to show patience with Arne Slot and his new-look team in an exclusive chat. McAllister himself was one of several new arrivals at Anfield in 2000 and says it always takes time for players to settle when they arrive en masse in a transfer window. We also speak exclusively to Liverpool legend John Barnes, who has also backed Slot to come through the difficult period and says he'll need time to find a cohesive style of play. In particular, Barnes believes Florian Wirtz will prove to be a tremendous asset to the Reds over the next few years, if things weren't tough enough already for Slot. This month he has to prepare for life without Mohamed Salah while he is at the AFCON. Our tactics expert Andrew Beasley looks at how Slot can fill the void left by the Egyptian star. Meanwhile, perhaps it isn't surprising that Liverpool are suffering a difficult time this season, writes Chris Smith, as he examines the role grief may have played after the loss of Diogo Jota in the summer. Liverpool player ratings. Winners and losers versus Sunderland as Florian Wirtz good but one anonymous. Liverpool avoided falling to a third successive defeat at Anfield with Chemstein Talbai's opener cancelled out by an own goal cause. Ad by Florian Wirtz. After a goalless first half, Mohamed Salah was turned to and he threatened to add some extra attacking quality into the contest for a short time. But it was Sunderland forward Talby who netted first when Virgil van Dijk had given possession away incredibly cheaply. Wirtz twisted and turned his way past a few players before his shot was squeezed over the line to level things up, but too many Liverpool players didn't offer enough quality in the final third to make the difference. Winners. It was certainly not the cleanest strike that Wirtz will ever take for Liverpool, and it has, in the end, gone down as an own goal, but it was an important finish to earn a point. It deflected into the net at the cap and at a vital time and ensured that Liverpool didn't lose again on home soil. He was a bright spark in the first half and then went quieter in the second, only to pop up with a vital goal when his team needed it. More of that is a must in the coming weeks as he attempts to show why Liverpool spent so much on him. Losers. Once again, Liverpool looked more functional and tidy with Mohamed Salah sitting on the bench but lacking in a bit of stardust. It leaves Arne Slot with a fascinating dilemma ahead of the weekend's trip to Leeds United. Salah was left on the sidelines on Sunday, but was sent on at halftime here. For a few minutes, he threatened to prove decisive and looked dangerous, but that ended up tailing off. With and without him was split 50-50 here, and Liverpool didn't get the result it wanted in either half. It didn't really offer a clear answer on whether bringing him back into the starting sheet or not is for the best either. Alexander Isak, meanwhile, wasn't involved at all. His performance wasn't that different to when he was on against West Ham. Aside from the crucial finish that opened the scoring there, he didn't do much, but he will have benefited from the extra minutes that he got under his belt. In that sense, at least, it was another step in the right direction after his deadline day move from Newcastle United, but he needs to improve quickly. Player rating. Alisson Becker 6. Did well to tip a dropping ball over the bar just before halftime and had gotten a little fortunate before that with a shot that he just about touched onto the post. A lot more involved than at West Ham. Joe Gomez 6. Starting at right back again after impressing, relative to the circumstances, at West Ham on Sunday, the 28-year-old put in a similar performance, solid, but unspectacular going forward. Understandably, he tired a little here, though, and was booked for a really late tackle when he just couldn't keep pace with Reinildo. Ibrahima Kane 6. Fortunate not to get booked for pulling Brian Brobby back around 16 minutes in. It appeared to be a Sunderland tactic to go down his side of the Liverpool defense. Brobby got the wrong side of him in the second half too, but he just about recovered. Virgil van Dijk 6. Did well to win a few headers when crosses came in. But the main attacking threat from Sunderland was coming down the opposite side too. The Dutchman, very deliberately, gifted possession away for the opening goal, which deflected in off him. Andy Robertson 6. and for Milos Kerkez, who came off with cramp at the weekend. He was a similarly solid option to Gomez, which is no bad thing. Didn't get forward much but was fine at the back. Did well to intercept a couple of passes when he was on his toes at the right moment. Ryan Gravenberch 6. Spun away from his man a couple of times in trademark style, only to be brought down by a Sunderland player. He's still finding his best form, but this was another step in the right direction. Alexis Mac Allister 6. Keen to get stuck in early on in the game when he picked up a knock, but this was the best he has played in a while. Put in a strong and determined tackle a few times and was aggressive on and off the ball. Not perfect, but much better than he has been at times this season. Dominik Szoboszlai 6. Deployed on the right again to start with, the former RB Leipzig ace was coming inside, as you would expect for someone so used to playing centrally. Tested Robin Roos with a shot from range and was involved more than most. Florian Wirtz 7. In at number 10 once more during the first half, the German was a bright spark who created a few chances and showed some glimpses of his excellent technique. Just as involved on the left wing, which allowed Salah to play with him. That feels like it might be a way forward with both in the team. Unlucky not to come away with a goal. But his shot proved decisive. Cody Gakpo 5. Scored and assisted at the weekend. And at times looked sharp here. Slightly predictable, though, and was caught offside in a good position when he shouldn't have been. Taken off at halftime, probably for rotation and freshness reasons. Alexander Isak 4. Fresh from netting his first Premier League goal for Liverpool, the Swede wasn't involved at all. He was jeered by the way and every time he touched the ball, but it wasn't too often. It was a bit of an anonymous performance. Substitute stop Mohamed Salah 6. It was a statement not to start him for a second successive game, but Arne Slot turned to his number 11 at halftime, bringing him on for Gakpo after the break, for a short time. He threatened to take the game by the scruff of the neck, but then fizzled out. Curtis Jones 6. Brought on for the tiring Gomez, the midfielder had to slot in at full-back again. His higher level of ability on the ball was a positive. Even if it was an enforced change rather than a tactic, it was his interception that led to the equalizer. Federico Chiesa also came on and stopped a goal by blocking the ball on the line.
Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.